BKFC David Feldman. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I know you're busy all over the place, a lot of events going on. Some news came out, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, and I saw all sorts of stuff on social media. I needed to get answers. I needed what's going on. We'll start with Alan Belcher.
Yeah, so Alan got an opportunity to fight on a big professional boxing card. He wanted to expand, his horizons a little bit, gain his popularity, and thought he could do so there. So, in order to do that, I told him that I wouldn't allow any of our champions to fight outside the organization, and therefore he chose to take the fight, so we decided to strip him of the championship.
Was it something that you could have said, no, you can't go do that? I don't know what his contract was. Did he have fights left on?
No, to be honest with you, he was outside of contract. We renegotiated his new contract, some of it, and he was ready to go. But he got the offer, and I have a great relationship with him. So he's a great guy. I understand what he wants to do, but at the same time, being the bare knuckle heavyweight champion of the world means you're one of the baddest MFers on the planet. And if you're that, and fight outside the organization and happen to get beat for some reason, it just doesn't look good for the organization. So, we just made the decision. We talked about it for a few days, and we just decided that it was the best thing to do, not to hold up the division. If he gets injured, if something happens outside of our organization, and then he has to hold up the division, it's just not fair to everybody else. So it's a decision we made. I feel very confident with the decision. I think we made the right decision. I think, we did.
Agree with what you're saying, and ironically, we were talking about that in the first hour. The John Jones, Tyson Fury, or John Jones, Nagano, whatever. Organizations are not going to allow that. You're under contract for a reason, and if a UFC fighter was to lose to a Bellator fighter, it could be devastating for the UFC. You would expect, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, on the Bellator side, and that's the same case with what you're saying. The BKFC is the elite of bare knuckle, and you certainly wouldn't want that to happen. I totally get it 100%.
Absolutely. I mean, he is fighting in a different sport, but at the end of the day, we take pride in our champions. And, we think that they're some of the baddest people in the world, and because of that, we also feel like we do a good job of promoting them and taking care of them. And because of that, we just don't want them fighting outside the organization. We really don't want any fighter fighting outside the organization, but if we can't keep them busy enough, I'm not going to hold them up from making money. But our champions are different. I mean, he was offered a fight in July, turned it down to take this fight. So, he chose
for sure. And I'm just going to throw this one out. You don't have to respond, and then we'll go to the next one. I'm the naive guy. I'm the guy that believes that, everything. I seriously doubt. I believe that Alan Belcher wasn't scared to fight anybody. He just found a different opportunity for whatever reason, and that's why he made that decision. What's the newest? Go ahead.
I agree with you. I think that he saw that this was a safer fight and probably comparable, or maybe even more money, and he thought it was a good opportunity for him. So, listen, I don't deny these guys are making money. I'm friends with a lot of them. I like a lot of them. I want them to do what they think is best for them, but just because it's best for them doesn't mean it's best for us.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. And a lot of times it's not. The organization has to take care of the organization. There's two fighters fighting. You can't do more for one than the other. It's the organization. So let's move on to another title holder, Lorenzo Hunt. What's going on with him?
Well, actually, I'm supposed to be talking to him. He called me earlier. I missed his call. I got to call him back. We're going to figure out what's next for him. I mean, ever since this news broke, he wants to fight for the heavyweight championship now. But we have a tentative fight for him for the 205-pound championship. So, there's a lot of possibilities for him. But he's going to be fighting in the very near future, either at 205 or possibly challenging for the heavyweight championship.
You mentioned with Alan Belcher and tying up the belt and whatever, so I hope I'm not asking something that you haven't already been asked. It's now been made the Jared Warden fight in Lakeland, an interim title. Is that because you don't know what's next for Lorenzo and if he'll go back down?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted him to fight at the 205, and, he did too. We talked about it, and then I made this match, and then he said, why wasn't I asked for the fight? But at the end of the day, that's not really the weight he wanted to fight. He did it for the Mike Richmond thing. I'm only doing interim right now because I do think I owe it to Lorenzo Hunt. If Mike Richmond's victorious, and if they both want to make this rematch happen at 185, I think I owe it to Lorenzo Hunt to still have that championship and a chance to defend it. If Lorenzo Hunt chooses not to defend it, or Mike Richmond loses this fight and we don't make that rematch, then we'll probably not lift the word interim and just make it the championship.
Okay, and that was my next question. If it plays out the other way, will the winner of the interim automatically lose that interim and become the champion?
Yeah, I believe they will. I mean, I believe you got two of the top guys in the division outside of the champion right now, so I think it's a great fight. It's a competitive fight. There's a lot of other guys coming to the organization right now, so there's going to be a lot more challengers at that weight division and at 205. But for right now, like I said, I think I made the right decision. I don't always make the right decision, but I think I did what was best for the company, and that's what I have to do. Not within my opinion, but what's best for the fighters, what's best for the fans. I think we did that, and we'll have Lorenzo Hunt matched up here in the next few days.
Before I ask you about Friday and then, of course, July, and there's many events in between, talk about your most recent new champion in Kai Stort. We had him on last week. We're going to be with him this weekend. Talk about that young man.
I don't think that Kai is the most talented boxer in the world or even striker in the world, but what really made me really be proud to have him as our champion is the fact that he found a way to win. I mean, he's a guy, he's a wrestler, he's not a striker, and this isn't MMA, this is a striking sport. And he's found a way to win. He promoted himself better than any fighter around. He's blown up his profile. He did what he wanted a champion to do. He performed like one, he went out there, he acted like one, he was nice before and after the fight, so he did everything he should have done. I do believe he has a tough road ahead of him. We have a lot of really tough 145-pounders that are trying to take it. It's going to be a rough road for him, but as far as him taking the title or winning that title, the vacant title from Louis Lopez, I think he won. I was there. Obviously, I thought he won the fight, and he was nice before and after. Thank the organization, and a class guy for us to have represented the 5-pound division for now.
I agree 100%. Couple days, what is today's Wednesday? So 2 days from now, you're back down in South Florida. Talk about that card.
Yeah, we're back down at the Hard Rock, our home away from home. We got Louis Palomino fighting James Lilley, probably one of his toughest challengers to date, a guy that did come down from 165, a guy that's a very skilled boxer that learned bare knuckle, almost the same way that Louis Palomino did, so I think it's going to be a great, great fight. You got Jake Bostwick taking on Erick Lozano, who's coming off a one-punch knockout of Francisco Ricky. We got a lot of tremendous fights on the undercard. It's going to be another stack card, another packed house. It's just going to be another great event at the Hard Rock. That's going to be this Friday night, June 23rd at the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood, Florida. You can get all the information at BKFC.com.
Has it gotten crazier, or has it slowed down a little bit since the very beginning when we first started talking? Back then it was an event, kind of like UFC-wise, once every 3 months. Now it's like once every 6 days. So is that better or worse?
Well, we're finding out the right recipe. We believe that it's better. We believe that we're really expanding this organization. We just did our projections for next year. We should have 66 events next year, but that's internationally. So I'll run it down for you and I'll break it with you. We're going to do 22 events in the United States. We're going to do 6 events in South Africa. We're going to do 12 events in Mexico. We're going to do 4 events in Bulgaria. We're going to do 6 events in the UK, and then we're sprinkling just single events out throughout Europe and South America as well. So we have a lot of big plans for 2024. I think it's going to be an unbelievable breakout year for us. I think it's going to be the one where we really make some real big noise. We're going to have the proper funding that we need to really blow this thing up in the next couple of months, and I think it's going to be hard to catch us.
How are you going to determine, the talent that you're going to use on wherever? Pick one, Mexico, Africa, whatever. Are you going to use a lot of the fighters you presently have? Or are you going to try to build and grow from that continent or country themselves, or a blend of both?
Yeah, we're going to try to grow from that particular location. What we want to do is try to get the best fighters from all around the world, not just bring the best fighters from different parts of the world. You understand what I mean there?
Yeah.
We want to try to find the greatest fighters that are all around the world, and then then have them compete for the world championships. But I think it's going to be a great move for us. We're teaming up with different promoters in different areas to make that happen. So it's not just us going out and searching for fighters. It's us teaming up with the right promoter or the right company in that part of the world that's really going to help us blow up.
Hey Dave, so going back to the proper funding to really blow this thing up, after the Denver fight, you came on record and said that there was over 700,000 illegal streams. Like, is there anything that can be done about that? Is there anything we can do to tighten that up so that the revenue does go to the organization and pay the fighters what they deserve to be making in relative to boxing and other bigger sports?
I mean, they are coming out with new technology to combat piracy right now, so we're going to be able to combat that a little bit. But to be very frank and very honest, it's a hard thing. I actually heard from some of the top brass at the UFC who said the same thing. It's really a hard thing to combat right now. So potential TV deals that we have on the table right now that we've been talking to for the past 3 months now look like they're going to come to a head here in the next couple of weeks, and I think that's going to be the thing that really blows us up and really expands us to where we need to be. I think that the app, the streaming on the app is good. It's a great price, and I don't think that we get pirated a lot there. I think it's when we go up for the higher dollar ticket is where that happens. So, we just have to find different ways of creating revenue, whether it's ad-based revenue, showing it free, and just creating ad-based revenue from advertising and sponsors, which that's a really big business model we're looking at right now. There's a lot of options right now, but yeah, I mean, look, the pay-per-view model, I'm not saying it's dead. It certainly is broken. It's broken because of piracy is so easily. I mean, any time a UFC fight comes on or a big major boxing match on, you'll see someone post, anyone have a link? Bang, you got 10 people posting a link of a free fight. It's so easy to grab now. Now they are coming up with different technology that is going to allow you, it's going to find your IP address. So, maybe you're going to be able to find someone, maybe you're going to be able to press a lawsuit. But again, that's a lot of time and money. So we just got to think of different avenues to create revenue, and we have a lot, and we're doing some really, really big things internally right now. And I think it is an uphill battle with the pay-per-view thing, but I think things are going to really pan out great. Great question, though, man.
There you have it. Dave, as always, thank you very much. Take about a minute or two and relax, and then I know you're going to get back to work and get ready for Friday.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Take care. David Feldman, the president of BKFC. Big things. Big things coming, like you just said, 22 events in the U.S., 6 in Africa, 12 in Mexico, 4 in Bulgaria, 6 in the U.K., and some more sprinkled around in my backyard.
Did I miss Thailand? Because that was a big market for them over there.
I don't think he said Thailand.
So maybe that's an addition to what he's already doing in Thailand.
Could be. We're going to get a hold. We're going to try to get a hold of Jason Knight here shortly, but allegedly, long lost guest walking through the door any minute from now. So we will wait to see if that happens. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Son. We'll be right back.